Hello everyone out there in Facebook world. Had a busy morning today, thought I would jump on here. I've been on a ton of sales calls and done a training with my Global Thought Leaders Network members this morning. So thought grab a coffee and come in here and chat to you guys about niching. It's something that I have been wanting to talk about for a while actually, and been a little bit nervous to talk about. But anyway, guys, I see a few of you have popped in. Say hi, let me know where you're from, and let me know if you've got any questions or any comments as we're going through. So I'd love to know, do you think niching is a dirty word? Because wow, I've got a few stories here. And I've got some things to share. Hey, Andrew, Lisa, Sean, Paul, David, Andrew, great to see you all here. Hi, Lisa, Brizzy, what's it like up in Brizzy there today? Hi, Paul, in Albury. I'm down in Sydney, obviously, Northern Beaches. It's meant to be warm. I'm actually cold, but then that's probably because I've got no shoes on. Maybe I should put some shoes on. Anyway, so niching. Look, guys, I've been in business for a really, really long time. And niching is something that I understood without realizing it had a name. So right back when I opened my dance studio, I understood very quickly that I didn't like running classes for the students that were coming for fun, that I wanted to work with the students that wanted to be competitive, the ones that wanted to do teamwork. So I learned very quickly that I didn't know it was called niching, but I learned very quickly what I enjoyed doing and did more of that and got rid of the other stuff. So if a parent was looking for classes for their child for fun, my studio was not the one to come to. If they were quite willing to get right into it and be part of a competitive team, then they knew that was my studio, was one to look at. So that was niching. When we had, I owned a few dance shops, and when we had the dance shops, as the years went on, there was a lot of these Chinese kind of imports, the lower grade quality products coming into the market. And at the time, our two greatest supporters, or our two greatest suppliers, I should say, were actually high quality Australian suppliers. And so when a lot of customers came in and started asking us to bring in the Chinese imports, we didn't bring them in. We wanted to position ourselves as the premium store that people would come to. I didn't want to get caught up in having to hold a ton of stock that I didn't believe in, because I like high quality products. So we were niched as the premium store. Then when I went into personal training, there's so many niches in personal training and in health, but, I didn't want to work with the guys that wanted to compete in bodybuilding competitions. My passion at that time was in holistic health. So not only would I work with my clients in personal training, but we would also look at all the different aspects of their life. And we used to do workshops around, around sleep and around breathing and around organic food and what they were eating and their mindset. And that was my niche. I only worked with these people. So let me know, guys, if this is resonating with you so far. Do you have a niche? Do you understand what niching is? Because all of these things that I'm talking about, I didn't actually understand at the time that I had a word, that I had the N word. I understood what I wanted, the people that I like to work with, but I didn't understand that it was a niche. Anyway, when I first started business coaching, I specifically started working with startup business owners and actually built that business really quite quickly. Yeah, Jean totally gets that. I mean, Jean, you've got a very specific niche and it's working out really, really well for you. So anyway, coaching startups, grew that business really quickly, but then I got bored. I started to get really bored just coaching startups because I had all this business experience. I was learning all of these things in marketing and in the online world. I had all of my background in running businesses for 20 years. And anyway, loved my clients at the time, but it wasn't the right niche for me. So this is where I made the biggest mistake of my life. And I haven't actually said this publicly before. It's been something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but you know, it's vulnerable saying that was stuffed up, but my biggest stuff up. So I was telling my like the story in my head was that I could do everything, which I can't, right? I can't do everything. But the story in my head I was telling myself is that if I stopped just coaching startups and started coaching all business owners, that would be the thing that would work better for me, because not only would I be helping more people, but I would be, I would be more enjoying it more. You know, I wouldn't be as bored. And that was the biggest problem, because that's when people started coming to me, and I was known as the startup coach like super quickly. Everyone knew I was coaching startups. And then all of a sudden people started saying to me, what is it that you do, Sam? We don't understand what you do. Who do you work with? Huh? And all of a sudden I started not getting referrals anymore. I started getting less inquiries. I felt like I fell off the radar of what I was doing. So even though I had all of this experience, like over 20 years experience in business, all of a sudden no one knew who I was. So just let me know, guys, is this resonating with you? Has this ever happened to you? Or are you a bit smarter than me and always had a niche? So what I didn't realize is that you can still do lots of things, but the niche is all the little tiny bits of what you do and what makes you unique. So if you, I remember, I think it was on when I interviewed Samantha Alvarez on the podcast, she was saying that she realized that she loved language, she loved travel, and there was something else that didn't seem like it fit together. But her niche was working with these people in this really unique way. That was her niche. So I started to pull apart what it is that I did with people, and that's where I came up with my niche of working with thought leaders and helping them to position themselves to build their profile and to get more exposure. So still working with business owners to grow their business, but specifically honing in and working with thought leaders around that authority positioning, the profile and the exposure. And that's when people all of a sudden started to understand again what I did. The referrals started coming back in. More people were reaching out on social media. They wanted help with that specific thing. So guys, I wanted to come on and be vulnerable and tell you this, because niching isn't a dirty word. In actual fact, it's the opposite. It's one of the most important pieces of your business that's going to have people understand what it is you do. And when you niche, not only do other people understand what you do, but as a thought leader, you can start to get clearer on your niche as you start to unpack your IP, unpack your genius zone, and really start to understand what it is that you do. And that's why I love working with thought leaders, because they're not vulnerable. They're not putting up the wall saying, I know everything. They're actually vulnerable enough to say, okay, I stand for this, I believe this, but I'm also not afraid to keep working at it and keep getting better at it, keep, honing that message. Absolutely, Lisa, like people get stuck on it all the time. And that's why I'm on here, because I got stuck on it. So, if there's anyone out there that's listening that doesn't understand what their niche is or doesn't understand how to pull it together, now I understand that that's my genius zone, is helping you to pull all those pieces out, starting to understand what it is that you love to do, who is it that you love to work with, what is your genius zone, and pulling it together to make your niche, unique to you. So niching is one of the nine key pieces of my thought leaders positioning model. If you do want to see the rest of, what the other 8 pieces of the thought leaders positioning model. See, I told you I needed a coffee. I'm getting caught up on my words. So my thought leaders positioning model, just type model below and I'll just shoot it through to you on a personal message. But I'd love you to let me know below. You know, do you struggle with your niche? Is it something that you want help on? Is it something that you understand? How does knowing your niche help you in your business? You know, I've talked about referrals. I've talked about people reaching out and understanding, you know, what you do. I've talked about it helping you to get clearer on your message. But let me know below. What is it that, what niching means for you? Thanks so much, Jean, and thanks, Lisa. Yeah, so if you want a copy of the model, leave model below, but I'm going to leave that with you this morning. I'm going to go have my coffee, stop tripping over my words, get back on the phone. I've got a very, very busy day, but I just wanted to pop in and share that with you because I think it's such an important piece of the puzzle, and it is a part of the puzzle that made my businesses successful, and it's also the piece that when I let it go, which was the hardest time that I ever had in business. So get clear on your niche. I want to leave you with that. I'm off to have a coffee. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. Ciao.